up, Halls? How we doing? Hope everyone's good. It's Friday. I just got in from work a minute ago. It was a night. Neither here nor there, really. We made it through. Plenty more ahead. So yeah, good night at the restaurant. Nothing too crazy. We were fairly busy, but I was in this dining room on the back of the restaurant, and it's either sometimes it's crazy back there, sometimes it's not that busy. So tonight it just wasn't that crazy. So no trauma this evening, nothing horrible to report. I hope everybody's had a good week. I love our weekend reading. I pulled us an oracle card out of the Halloween oracle since it's October, and I would start celebrating this season in September, to be quite honest. So I like to use the Halloween oracle through October, and then I followed up with some tarot cards. So our first card was Werewolf. This is all about the transformation that goes on within us, balancing our wild instincts and our sort of animalistic instincts with our logic and reasoning and higher consciousness. But I mean, that's just the basics of this card in general. I think specifically for this weekend, it's really speaking to that Aries full moon that we just had. And I feel like we have been having this this is really a tree branch in this photo, but it looks to me, it reminds me of lightning a lot. And we have felt this electric surge of all of this energy going through us, because we've been in this sort of this phoenix energy of, death and rebirth. And so now it's we've got all this life force coming in. It's in Frankenstein, when the lightning hits the machine and they turn on the electric levers and it brings Frankenstein to life, and they're like, it's alive. Or actually it's the monster. Frankenstein is the doctor. Well, I feel like the full moon in Aries that just passed was that lightning bolt hitting the machine and then throwing the crank, and it was and it's it's alive. So the new us has just been alive, and I feel like that transformation is really becoming apparent within us. We've really turned a corner. It's the new us is starting to surface, and we're starting to notice. We're having different interactions with the same people that we used to have patterns with. We're breaking those habits, we're breaking those patterns, and we can see ourselves doing it in real time. And you're like, oh, wow, it's happening. I'm changing. Things are changing. There's improvement here. There's growth. We're learning. Yeah, so maybe even things that used to bother you or trigger you, maybe they're not triggering you or bothering you as much anymore. Maybe when things do come up that are bothering you, that are triggering you, you're more quickly being able to see what it's connected to really under the surface, and not just what it appears to be. But I think too that, we're also feeling a little bit more comfortable to address things when they're off, instead of just trying to, appease everyone or be amiable, or, to go along and get along, or, sweeping the dirt under the rug and dealing with it later. I think we're really able now to just sort of assertively face things as they come. And so then they don't build up, they don't become a big deal. It's just taken care of right there. And it's also putting it into certain patterns, right? Because instead of just letting it build up and getting resentful about things, we're just airing it out right away. I do think too that you could be having, you could be seeing improvement in certain relationship dynamics. You may be having some progress with parent healing, maybe more so one than the other. But I think that there is going to be things this weekend that are going to show us that progress is happening, and that we're beginning to embody the change, and we're beginning to embody our up level. Because we have the 10 of Pentacles that follows, and this card is talking about preparing for the future, having not just riches, but wealth that can continue to provide. It's about long term. It's about like, you know, long sustaining relationships that last, you know, the legacies that we build and leave behind, things that we leave to, you know, our heirs or whatnot. So 10 of Pentacles is telling me, you know, like, hey, now that we're on the other side of this transformation and we're starting to feel like new people, we're getting a real vision about what we want for ourselves and what our heart and soul desires for the future. And so we're starting to figure out what it is that we want, and we're starting to figure out that we know how to get it. And we're ready to do that, because followed by, or the 10 of Pentacles is followed by the Chariot. The Chariot talks about bringing opposing forces into balance, like marriage between the divine masculine and feminine, balancing give and take. It's about balancing the forces in order to maintain steadiness. So usually this person would be on a chariot, which they would have to like make sure that the horses were balanced and keeping the same pace. That's kind of like this. It's like you're keeping all of your ducks in a row and you're maintaining in a stable, harmonious, consistent way. You're putting in the work that it's taking, and because of that, it's like you're not hesitating anymore. So there's a lot of forward movement. There's a lot of forward motion. Progress is being made. Things are, your accomplishments are starting to take shape and fill out. And other people are starting to notice too. So this is not just a card about like the beginning signs of success and seeds well planted and things starting to finally move, and like, you know, things are starting to like, oh, I can see this is becoming a thing. This thing is starting now, right? But it's also about other people recognizing that too. They see your skills. They see that you're actually making something of something, right? It's about progress and moving things forward, and other people recognizing that is that too. And even chances of getting publicly recognized for your work. This is followed by 3 of Pentacles. I mean, we're like pentacled up. So it's like your mundane life right now. Like this is the major arcana card for, okay, like look, we've got our big, you've transformed, all right? You've transformed. You are in the transformation, and you're not going to be held back by all the expectations that others put on you anymore. Like in a way, you're wild and unbridled and ready to embrace this wildness. But because of the transformation and the growth, you also have all this reason and consciousness to balance it out. To temper your impulses, right? So you can follow your instincts are very sharp. You're very in tune with your needs. You know, you're very in tune with your surroundings, right? Your senses are sharp. You know what you want and what you desire and what you want to create for yourself, and you know how to get it, and you're ready to go out and do that. And because of that, you're getting this forward momentum. This forward motion is happening, and progress and success is starting to happen. And this is another card that talks about sort of like the initial signs of success. The 3 of Pentacles talks about being recognized for your skills. You're really great at what you do, maybe even the best, and people are really anxious to collaborate with you. This talks about successful, fruitful collaborations. And it talks about, you know, people, maybe like even clients, not just people that you work with, but it might hint around that you'll be getting clients or people that might be interested in like hiring you for your services, or they just want to work with you, or, you know, maybe you're going to be building on like-minded people in your community that share your interests, that can be like a support net, like people of like mind that have your back, that have similar interests and resources that they can like contribute to your thing. Because like, see here we have like, it's not just a bunch of students. There's a teacher in the situation, there's a student in the situation, and then there's the model. So it takes different people in different departments to get together, right? If you're a freelancer, you may, like the collaborator would maybe be your client, right? Or there might be someone else that has a similar skill that complements what you're trying to do to put together a package, something like that. But people are anxious to work with you, and you're starting to be recognized for your skills. So it's like, you know what you need to do, you know that you know what you want, you know what you need to do, you have the skills and the talents and the sustainable kind of routine right now that's giving you the momentum. So take advantage of it, because, you know, the first stage of completion is the 3s. So you're getting into that first, like, signs of success, like the sprouts are coming through the soil. But we still have a way to go, and we're still learning, because our last card is the 8 of Pentacles. This is the card of the apprentice. It's about prolonged work. It's about a long-term project that you work on incrementally. And this is about, you know, like this new life that we're creating for ourselves. This is a journey. It's not like there's like a finish line, right? So be relaxed. Be a happy student of life. And you know, just enjoy the time that you're spending honing your craft or building this new life that you're creating for yourself. Get lost in the joy of the process and in the state of becoming, because you don't want to rush it, and you don't need to anyway, because it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey of self-discovery. It's going to be a journey of refining your skills and your vision and trial and error, and it's a learning process. And life is a learning process. So be patient with yourself and enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. Don't be in a hurry to, I don't know, feel like you have to get to any certain like checkpoint in order for it to count. Like, it all counts. You're here, you're doing it. You're at the party. It's already happening, guys. So yeah, one more time. We are in a insane transformation right now, but we're starting to feel it, and we're starting to feel all of this wild energy that's just been swirling around. We're starting to ground it, and we're starting to be able to like direct it into things, which is great, because we're getting a vision about what we're creating and what we want for our future, and we're now have some direction, some resources, and some energy, and a little bit of momentum under our belt, which feels good. So it's like we're starting to get a little bit of success, a little bit of progress, and our skills are beginning to become more refined and beginning to pay off, and people are really starting to recognize our ability and wanting to connect. And it's a learning process. So don't put it off until everything's perfect, because you're going to learn on the job, right? And don't feel guilty about that. Just be reasonable about, like, manage your own expectations, essentially, right? If this has to do with a trade, say you're becoming a freelancer or something, just know that it's not like you're going to be an expert with tons of clients and tons of experience right out of the gate. So it's a process. So, you know, start out on the lower end of average as far as pricing until you get more experience, and then you can gradually, incrementally see what the market will bear as you raise it, right? But don't undercharge, because then people won't value your services. And if you're way undercharging, then by the time you want to charge what your normal price should be, it's going to be too big of a jump. People are going to be like, whoa, where did that come from, right? So just be reasonable, but like, don't cheap yourself out. But also, like, don't wait until everything's perfect to ever launch. You know what I'm saying? If this is about generally like the life that you're building, like say, you know, you're single and you want to build a relationship and you want to build a home or whatever, like this is all a process, and the joy is the process, right? So just relax, have fun, be a student of life. Know that you're the apprentice building skills right now, and you're building what you will soon be enjoying. So be patient with yourself and don't be in a hurry. Oh, you guys, remember a cute guy from the woods that I ran into that one day, like on Yom Kippur, and I ran into him a few times and we like chatted and stuff, and I was like, oh, he's so cute. I was at the gas station. So last night I went to Aldi and then Kroger, because that's the routine over here. You get everything at Aldi first, and then whatever's left, you go to Kroger. I was getting the stuff for chili. And I thought, oh, I need to get gas, but I'm really like feeling lazy and I don't really want to go to the pump right now. But then I remembered, I was like, oh, the impulses, the healthy impulses, following our healthy impulses and, you know, not following our reactive impulses, right? Our egoic impulses. So I was like, you know what? This was a healthy impulse to think I need to go get gas tonight, because tomorrow I will set myself up with ease and harmony and I won't have to like rush out the door to go to work early, because I'll probably forget until the last minute and then I won't really have time to stop. So I went ahead and got gas. While I was at the gas pump, I was in my car because it was chilly, and I was like editing our video for last night. And I look up right as like I'm kind of finished and the gas pump goes off and it's done. And I look up just in time to see a car pulling out. And as it's passing me, like me and the driver's side are like on the same side because I'm facing this way and they're driving this way. And I was like, oh my God, it's the guy from the woods. Cute guy from the woods. Oh my God. And it's like, I was just out of the car and I almost even locked my keys in the car. And I wonder if the universe was teasing me, so I'd have to go find help because my phone would have been in the car too. And then he could have rescued me. But yeah, so he went by and I was just like, holy shit, I knew it. I knew that if we were vibing the same, the universe, just by magnetism alone, would bring him back around at some point. So, did not get to talk to him, but I have seen him again. So I could run into him anytime now. I'm like, the odds are good. The chances are good. I'm liking my odds. All right, you guys, I hope you have a good night. I'm going to eat some chili and really enjoy it. And, oh, I'm watching a good show. I don't know if you guys have Netflix, but if you do, watch the show Dairy Girls. It's an Irish comedy set in the 1990s. Like the right at the end of the biggest conflict between the IRA and, like, is it the Republic of Ireland? That is the IRA? Or, you know what I'm talking about. Ireland was split between Catholics and Protestants and they're always warring. So this was like right around the end of that, like when Bill Clinton was in office, and it's hysterical. But anyway, super funny show, super quirky, super authentic. I love it. It's so good. But anyway, I've been watching that the last few days since I'm done with Outlander for now, until I have more seasons on Netflix. All right, y'all. I am going to eat chili, and I don't know what you're going to do, but I hope you have a good day.